1.20.50 brings several types of bug fixes, several different types of stability, and several different types of interesting changes. And I think one of the biggest types of interesting changes has to do with decorated pots, because now you can actually store up to an entire stack of items inside of decorated pots. And of course, if you want to just get it out, you just gotta break the pot. And that's not just a cool feature in one sense, but it's also a cool feature in another sense, because this feature can actually be interacted with redstone components, such as say with hoppers, because we put some of these items inside of here, and then, yeah, we see them going right inside this one chest. As well as that, it also interacts with comparator outputs, because say we put some items inside here, we can see slowly but surely every single one of those comparators is gradually lighting itself up, until eventually we have filled it completely up. And if you want to put non-stackable, say like swords or something like that, then you totally can, but you can only put one side there, or anything that goes up to its full possible stack, say with these signs. But while that's like the big selling point of this one update, that's not the only selling point of this one update, because there's also things to do with, say, chorus flowers, meaning that any projectile can now actually break them. Say crossbow, say a bow, say a snowball, say even potions. Even bottles of enchanting can break them. So to put it simply, these things are way more sensitive and way more fragile than they originally were. But who would honestly want to break a whole bunch of chorus fruits when you could look at the brand new type of bat texture, because now the bats have a brand new looking texture, such as the one we can see right here. I believe they did this mainly because like all the other mobs are getting like pretty up-to-date models and things like that, and the bat was one of the few that was like pretty far behind. And at least now, instead of it being just an annoyance inside of caves, it's a cute annoyance inside of caves. Yeah, speaking of annoyance, raids are becoming a little bit more difficult and a little bit more frustrating now, because say you are inside of a raid and for some reason a witch decides to join inside the raid that wasn't originally part of the raid, that now becomes part of the raid too. Say for instance I take out this one guy we can see right here, and then I place in a witch that we can see eventually, hopefully, yeah, we can see that raid bar going gradually back up now that this witch is part of the raid. But yep, that went back down, but it will eventually go back up if I have more witches. Also, say there's like another raid happening in another village and you somehow manage to get all the raiders into a village with another raid, then that raid will then combine with the other raid, meaning you would have a mega raid. It's a change that makes so much sense, and I feel like it's gonna be so annoying in certain cases, but at the same time, I think I'm gonna have fun with this one. And of course, that's like the big main things inside the update, but in the case you want to try out experimental changes, then you're gonna be pleasantly surprised to find several new types of blocks to play around with. Specifically, every single new type of copper block and tough block, as well as the crafter, you'll be able to find in the experimental tab. So then you can play with 54 brand new types of blocks. Unfortunately, in case you were wondering about the trial chambers, they weren't implemented in 1.20.50, they are a 1.20.60 thing, but in the case you do want to play around with the blocks at least, then you do at least have that option now. And with that option, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.